So this is the course, or you can say syllabus of the basics of academic writing for B.Ed second year, and I show you the books also. I also show you this evaluation scheme, you can say, and I also show you the marks that you can get from each unit. For example, academic writing unit 1 bata, you have to be prepared for 25 marks. Then from unit 2, the questions will be of 35 marks, then 15 marks, and then 25 marks. So लामो क्वेसन आउने सम्भावना भनेको युनिट सेकेन्डबाट पक्का हो, किनकि त्यहाँ 35 मार्क्स पाउँछ. सो विल हेभ टु गो फर द राइटिङ प्रोसेस, स्टेजेस अफ डेभलपिङ एकाडेमिक राइटिङ, जो चाहिँ मेन हो. र त्यो पढिसकेपछि हामीले चाहिँ त्यसपछि बल्ल यो अरू चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिकल कामहरू छन्. बिफोर वी स्टार्ट, देयर आर सम अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ क्वेसन that I want to ask you, and blindly, whether you know it or not, just check your understanding, and finally I will tell you the answers. Okay, there are some questions to check your understanding. A book mai cha hamro to question haru yaha chhan, त्यसको लिस्ट छ. So let's look at the question and try to answer. If you exactly know the answer, you can say. If you don't know the answer, don't worry. थाहा छ भने पनि ठिक छ, थाहा छैन भने पनि ठिक छ. सो ओके, यो हाम्रो एउटा बुक हो एकाडेमिक राइटिङ भन्ने, हैन, मैले डाउनलोड गरेको एकाडेमिक राइटिङ ह्यान्डबुक फर इन्टरनेशनल स्टुडेन्ट्स भन्ने. सो देयर आर सम बेसिक क्वेशन्स that are given here for multiple choice. So if you know the answer, tell me. If you don't know the answer, even also tell. थाहा छ भने पनि भन्ने, थाहा छैन भने भन्ने, है त. र राइट के हो रङ के हो म पछि बताउँछु. There are 20 questions to check your understanding. Okay, let's begin from here. Okay, so yes, the quiz is here. Can you see that? This is a pre-survey question. The question that we are going to solve before we read this, and the same kind of question may be at the end of the course after you complete reading everything. So suppose you don't know anything, even if you don't know anything, try to answer. For example, the main difference between academic writing and other kind of writing is that academic writing uses long words, tries to be precise and unbiased, is harder to understand. So which one is the right answer according to you?
It may be correct answer of B.
So answer A, answer B, or answer C? Think about academic writing. What kind of writing is academic writing, and what could be the feature of academic writing? Action पछि हामी सबै हेर्छौं यसलाई. So what could be the feature of academic writing? Do you think academic writing uses longer words, or do you think academic writing tries to be precise and unbiased, or do you think academic writing is hard to understand? Which is the main difference between academic writing and other kind of writing?
To be precise and unbiased.
Okay, so you think academic writing tries to be precise and it tries to be unbiased. Okay, so if your answer is right or not, you can just write 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can write A, B, C, D as the right answer. I will tell you the answer at the end of this class today. The difference between the difference between a project and an essay is, now we know the essay and we also know the project. So what is the major difference between the project and essay? That essays are longer, projects are longer. Students choose project subject. Okay.
Students choose subjects.
Okay, so you think that way. Okay, so you think this is the right answer. Okay, I'll highlight that, and finally I will tell the answer. Teachers frequently complain about students. So sometimes there are the teachers who complain about students. So what aspect of the students the teacher complain about? Not answering the question given, not writing enough, writing in pencil. So what is the main complaint of the teacher about the students? So look from the teacher's point of view.
A number, not answering the question given.
Okay, so the students, they leave the questions. According to teacher, students do not write the answer that are given there in the course. Maybe this is the answer. The best time to write an introduction is first, last, after writing the main body.
First.
So you think we should write the introduction first? Okay. This is not the exam situation writing. This is the writing situation that as a writer that you write at home. The purpose of an introduction is, what is the purpose of introduction? To give your aims and methods, to excite the reader, to summarize your ideas. What could be the main aim of introduction? Just guess. Your guesses may be correct or your guesses may be wrong, because we are not ready to read anything today. We have not read anything. So this is just our understanding.
I confused between A and C, but it may be A.
Okay, let's
To give
done.
your aim and
Okay, so let's do it A. Making careful notes. You know, we as a student have to make note when we are in the classroom, when we are reading something. So taking note is very important. So making careful note is essential for what aspect of writing? Writing essay, revising for exam, or all academic work.
all academic work.
Okay, you think this is right? Okay. So this include essays, this include writing report and so on. And in-text citation looks like this. अब यो citation वाला कुराहरु हामीले चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म गरेका छैनौं. So maybe this is the first time you are looking at this. But when you read this academic course, you will definitely understand how to cite someone's work. जस्तो तिमीले केही लेखिरहेछौ त कसैको आइडिया लेख्यौ तर त्यो तिमीले बताएनौ, that is plagiarism. कुनै फेमस राइटर को विचार तिमीले लेखेछौ तर तिमीले यो बताएनौ कि यो फलानु राइटर को हो. So that is plagiarism. That is kind of theft, academic theft, that is. But when you mention that, that's acceptable. How do you mention that? So citation गर्ने कसरी? Menton 2008, Richard Menton 2008, Menton R 2008. So which one is the best idea to cite in text citation भन्छ, खास गरी टेक्स्ट भित्रै साइट गर्दाखेरिको भन्ने कुरा हुन्छ. त्यो साइटेसनको टेक्निकको बारेमा हामीलाई थाहा पाउँछौ?
I don't have any idea about this, sir.
Okay, let's do this one. In text citation.
Okay.
भित्र चाहिँ हामीले एकाध लाइन लेखेर त्यसपछि टेक्स्ट गर्दाखेरि त्यसको सेकेन्ड नेम कमा त्यसपछि गर्छौं हामीले, हैन? Paraphrasing a text means. Do you know the meaning of the word paraphrasing? Paraphrase.
No idea.
Okay, you can Google search later. So paraphrasing a text means making it shorter, changing a lot of the vocabulary, adding more detail. Paraphrasing could mean making the text shorter. खास गरी त्यो टेक्स्टलाई छोटो बनाउने कुरा पनि हुन सक्छ, या त्यसमा हामीले धेरै सो भोकाबुलरीलाई चेन्ज गर्न सक्छौं, या त्यसमा डिटेल एड गर्न सक्छौं भन्ने भनिरहेछ. सो which one could be the right answer? त प्याराफ्रेज गर्नु भनेको समराइज गर्नु होइन. रिमेम्बर दैट. समराइजमा हामी के गर्छौं? टेक्स्टलाई छोटो बनाउँछौं. खास गरी प्याराफ्रेजमा के गर्छौं भन्दाखेरि we rewrite the text in a simpler way so that other people can also understand. Remember, we do not care about the size of the text. We just care about the vocabulary, the understanding, the meaning of the text. So we try to replace the difficult words, the academic words, with daily used words, with simpler words, so that even common people can understand that. So paraphrasing means making it even simpler, making it even simpler. So I think this would be changing a lot of, I think,
vocabulary.
Because in paraphrasing you have to change the words. Okay, paragraph, we already know about paragraph, right? We all have written paragraph in our life as well. So paragraphs always contain, so what is compulsory in a paragraph? Think that way. तीनटा मध्ये कुन चाहिँ compulsory हुन्छ paragraphमा? The most important aspect of paragraph. There are 6 or more sentences, an example, or a topic sentence. So which one is compulsory in a paragraph? Because we have already studied about paragraph in first year also.
It may be a topic sentence.
Of course. In a paragraph, there must be a topic sentence. So that's compulsory. The very first sentence of the paragraph is known as topic sentence, right? Now
Yes, sir.
comes proofreading. We also do proofreading in an exam also. So when you proofread text or draft or writing, so what we do? Getting a friend to check your work, checking for minor errors, rewriting. So what is done in proofreading? Actually, what we do in proofreading?
Proofreading.
Okay, so this is one of the stages of academic writing. So especially proofreading is done at the end of the draft when you have completed writing. Before you publish, before you submit, proofreading is done in order to check for minor errors. Maybe there are some spelling
Yes.
mistakes. Maybe there are some, uh, other errors, punctuation mistakes, and so on. So you do proofreading, and this is done, after completing the course, but before you submit that. So this is done in order to check for minor errors.
Yes, sir.
Teachers expect a student to adopt a critical approach to their sources, sometimes only for master's work or always. So which one do you think is right? Critical approach to their sources. When you read, you have to be critical. Means you have to read the text from multiple angles. You have to read the text in order to get multiple explanation and a multiple meaning. That would be critical approach. And you should not accept the text as it is. You should put question mark there. If you put question mark there, if you raise a question, if you put it cross, okay, and that if you ask question, even that is also kind of critical reading. So critical approach is important. Sometimes only for master's work,
Always.
always. So let's say always. Always, it is always important for students to be critical. Even when you're reading, even when you're speaking, being critical is important these days. So when you are critical, this means you don't accept the things as they are. You put question mark, okay? You argue, you criticize, you make comment, then you are a critical reader, this means. So being critical is not an easy job. If you want to be critical, you must have some knowledge. You must have some understanding. त्यतिकै क्वेसन कसले सोध्न सक्छ क्वेसन त त्यसरी सोध्छ त्यसलाई आन्सर थाहा हुन्छ के
Yes, sir.
नाउ सी दिस punctuation mark. यो punctuation markलाई के भनिन्छ यो तपाईँलाई सजिलो भयो. This is comma, this is column, this is apostrophe. Apostrophe, very simple, right? Sometimes the questions are simple. So this is from writing or this is from punctuation. A suitable synonym of the word business. अब यो synonym र antonym पनि बुझ्न पर्छ academic writing बुझ्न खोजेको मान्छेले. So what could be the synonym for the word business? Firm, organization, or outfit?
Organization.
Okay, you think organization?
Business.
Okay. Now, progress and research are both nouns. We know. What kind of noun are they? Countable noun, uncountable noun, or proper noun? This is grammar portion.
Uncountable noun.
Okay. यो रिसर्च र प्रोग्रेस हामीले युज गर्दाखेरि यसलाई अनकाउन्टेबल नाउनको सेन्समा युज गर्छौँ. प्रोग्रेस हाम्रो प्रोग्रेस मात्रै हुन्छ, प्रोग्रेसेज हुँदैन. रिसर्चेज भन्ने गर्दैन, रिसर्चै हुन्छ खालि त्यहाँ. ओके, सो विल चेक द आन्सर एट द एन्ड अफ दिस. एन एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट इज नर्मली फाउन्ड. अब एब्स्ट्र्याक्टको बारेमा हामीले खासै सुनेका छैनौँ. खास गरी यो रिसर्च आर्टिकलहरूमा हुन्छ, थेसिसहरूमा हुन्छ एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट. र एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट कहाँ भेटिन्छ भने चाहिँ एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट इज नर्मली फाउन्ड अन द ब्याक कभर अफ द बुक बिफोर जर्नल आर्टिकल इन एक्जाम क्वेसन्स. वेयर डु यु फाइन्ड एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट? एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट नाउन भनेको होइन है फेरि. एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट भनेको यो खास गरी एक स्पेसल प्याराग्राफ हो, एक दुई प्याराग्राफ हुन्छ खास गरेर रिसर्च आर्टिकलहरूमा थेसिसहरूमा हामीले भेट्छौँ खास गरेर. कहाँ हुन्छ यो? On the back cover of the books, before journal articles, or in exam questions?
It may be before journal articles.
ल ठिक छ, त्यसरी लग गरौँ होइन. त हाम्रो आर्टिकलको सुरुवातमा हुन्छ क्या टक्क. द वर्ड अनरिलायबल कन्टेन्स. अब यसमा के छन्?
prefix पनि
अनरिलायबल
भयो
मात्रै.
अनि suffix both.
रिलाई भन्ने वर्ड हो, प्रिफिक्स सफिक्स सबै छ हैन, सो यु हैव टु से बोथ, देयर आर बोथ प्रिफिक्स एन्ड सफिक्स। अब यसको अन चाहिँ प्रिफिक्स भयो, एबल चाहिँ सफिक्स हुने भयो हैन।
Yes, sir.
when making notes, अब हामी नोट पनि टेक गर्छौँ त्यहाँ, खास गरी क्लासमा बस्दाखेरि या कुनै प्याराग्राफहरू टेक्स्टहरू पढ्दाखेरि। when making notes,
Yes, sir.
you should always include your own ideas, a full reference, the date. So what is important to do when you are making note?
Own ideas.
You should include your own ideas as well, you think, or you should write a full reference or what? ल ठिक छ, अब यो आइडिया आफ्नो राख्ने भन्ने कुरो हो। नोट लेख्दाखेरि एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट चिज हो। अनि नोट लेख्दाखेरि के गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने यसको मतलब हो। अब यो पाई चार्ट भनेको खास गरी डेटा इलस्ट्रेसन गर्नको लागि, डेटा एनालाइसिस गर्दाखेरि युज गर्छ। पाई चार्ट भयो, बार ग्राफहरू भए होइन, टेबलहरू भए, त्यो भनेको डेटा इलस्ट्रेसन गर्नको लागि हो। पाई चार्ट इज युज टु सो चेन्जेस इन टाइम, प्रोपोर्सन, structure of an organization. So what we do in pie chart, changes in time, proportion or structure of an organization. पाई चार्टमा हामीले जुन डेटा प्रेजेन्ट गर्छौँ त्यो खास गरी के गर्छ भने समयको परिवर्तनलाई जनाउँछ, अथवा प्रोपोर्सन अनुपातलाई जनाउँछ, भागहरूलाई जनाउँछ, अथवा स्ट्रक्चर अफ एन अर्गनाइजेसन।
Structure of an organization.
You think so? But I think this is proportion. जस्तै हामीले पाई चार्ट बनाउँदाखेरि यस्तै त हुन्छ है। मैले यहाँ केयर गरेँ है त।
Okay, sir.
जस्तो पछि व्याख्या गरौँला। जस्तो यो केयर गरियो भने, लेट मी ट्राई दिस। जस्तो पाई चार्ट यो गोलो गोलो भएन,
Yes, sir.
अनि सेन्टरबाट यहाँनिर उसले यति भाग गरिदियो एजुकेसनको, त्यो मान्छेले यति पर्सेन्ट एजुकेसनमा लगानी गर्छ, यति भाग त्यसको चाहिँ इलेक्ट्रिसिटीमा गयो होइन, यति भाग त्यसको चाहिँ मान लियो खानामा गयो, यति भाग चाहिँ क्लोथेजमा गयो, मान लियो यति भाग त्यसको बच्यो भन्छ, त्यो प्रोपोर्सन भन्छ यसलाई। प्रोपोर्सन भनेको भागहरू हैन। सो दिस इज फर प्रोपोर्सन। ओके,
Okay, sir.
So let's say proportion, right? So proportion, right? Proportion. And now 19 number question, acknowledgement भन्ने सुनेछौ कहिले? Acknowledgement are generally used to admit possible errors, to suggest more research, to thank people who helped. Acknowledgement तिमीले कुनै बुक पढ्दाखेरि त्यो बुकको स्टार्टिङमा त्यहाँ एक्नोलेजमेन्ट लेखेको हुन्छ। र अझै एकचोटि कुनै एउटा बुक हेर्ने, यो मैले भ्याएपछि, र त्यो बुकमा गएर तिमीले एक्नोलेजमेन्ट पढ्ने, एक्नोलेजमा के लेख्दो रहेछ उसले। हामी रिसर्चहरू लेख्दाखेरि वी also have to write acknowledgement, and what we do in acknowledgement is we thank all the people who help us to conduct the research, to help us to complete the research. हामीले त्यो रिसर्च गर्नको लागि जसले हेल्प गर्छ त्यो सबैलाई थ्याङ्क यू भन्नको लागि हामीले यो चाहिँ गर्ने गर्छौँ है त। एन्ड सो थ्याङ्क गर्नको लागि you have to say thank people.
Thank people who helped.
या अनि त्यसपछि अर्को भनेको छ यहाँ, the conclusion to an article usually include the result of the study, additional data, references. अब conclusion मा हामीले के लेख्छौँ खास गरेर भन्ने कुराले गर्न खोजिरहेको छ यहाँ। कुनै पनि रिसर्च आर्टिकलमा हामीले रिजल्ट अफ द स्टडी, एडिसनल डेटा और रेफरेन्सेस, त्यसमा हामीले यो लेख्ने गर्छौँ है त। यो जति पनि 20 वटा क्वेसन छ नि, यो 20 वटा क्वेसनमा उसले उठाएको टपिकको बारेमा तिमीलाई थाहा भयो भने you can easily pass the academic writing course. यसमा जुन जुन टपिकको बारेमा उसले कुरा गर्न खोजिरहेछ त्यही त्यही टपिकहरूको बारेमा हामीले पुरा किताबमा पढ्ने हो। जस्तो कन्क्लुजन कसरी लेख्ने भन्ने छ हाम्रो कोर्समा छ, एक्नोलेजमेन्ट भनेको के हो त्यो लेख्ने कसरी भन्ने छ हैन। त्यसपछि यो हामीले डेटा एनालाइसिस गर्दाखेरि कुन कुन चाहिँ टुल्सहरूको युज गर्छौँ भन्ने कुरा त्यहाँ छ। नोटहरू बनाउँदाखेरि व्हाट आर द टेक्निक्स दैट यू कैन यूज फर मेकिङ नोट्स। अब यो हामीले वर्डहरू युज गर्दाखेरि एन्टोनिम सिनोनिमको कुरा त्यहाँ छ है। अनि त्यसपछि एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट लेख्ने कसरी भन्ने छ यहाँ। सो दिज आर द थिङ्स दैट यू नीड टु केयर अबाउट। यसको आन्सर हेर्छौ भने यो बुक मैले पठाइदिन्छु तिमीलाई, अनि त्यो बुकको पेज नम्बर 262 मा दिएको छ, अनि त्यहाँ गएर एकचोटि हेर्ने है। र यसमा लगभग तिमीले भनेको सही छ, म एकचोटि चेक पनि गरिदिन्छु यहाँ। यस्तो 1 नम्बरमा यसको सही आन्सर हुन्छ बी वाला, जो तिम्रो सही छ। है। 2 नम्बरमा यसको आन्सर चाहिँ 2 नम्बरमा यसको आन्सर सी, त्यो पनि सही छ। 3 नम्बरमा यसको आन्सर चाहिँ दिएछ एमा, त्यो पनि सही छ। 4 नम्बरमा हामीले पहिल्यै लेख्दैन इन्ट्रोडक्सनलाई, यो गडबड भयो। बडी प्याराग्राफ लेखेपछि बल्ल इन्ट्रोडक्सन लेख्ने भन्छ। यो खास गरी एस्सेको इन्ट्रोडक्सन होइन, रिसर्च आर्टिकलको इन्ट्रोडक्सन हो क्या। रिसर्च आर्टिकलमा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि त्यो बडी प्याराग्राफमा लेख्दै जाने अनि बल्ल लास्टमा चाहिँ त्यो लेख्ने गरिन्छ भन्छ। आफ्टर राइटिङ द मेन बडी भन्छ यो 4 नम्बरमा। यसको सी नम्बरवाला आन्सर चाहिँ हुन्छ है त। सो दिस वुड बी द राइट आन्सर। यो चाहिँ सही हुँदैन भन्नु पर्यो हामीले, हटाउने कसरी भन्ने भयो। ल ठिक छ, यो आन्सर सही छ यसको है। अनि त्यस पछाडि द पर्पज, यो 5 नम्बरमा ए नम्बर ठिक छ, 6 नम्बरमा यो पनि ठिक छ, 7 नम्बरमा ठिक छ, 8 नम्बरको यो पनि ठिक छ प्याराफ्रेजिङको बारेमा, 9 नम्बर पनि ठिक छ, 10 नम्बर पनि ठिक छ, यता सबै ठिक छ है। अब यसको यो अर्को एउटा मेन पोइन्टको बारेमा मसँग लगभग 9 मिनट टाइम छ। And within that 9 minute time, I want to make you clear about the difference between academic writing and other kind of writing. Okay, so you can just make note, or you can just note down. That's the difference here. This is the topic, distinguishing between academic writing and other kind of writing. And the difference is this. You can easily understand the difference between academic writing and other kind of writing on the basis of these points. The first point is the reader, the second is content, the next one is style, and the other one is organization, the next one is grammar, and the next one is vocabulary. So remember from these points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Okay, and if you think about the reader, academic writing को reader को हुन्छ भन्दा पढे लेखेका मानिसहरू, academics भन्छ त्यसलाई। academics भनेको it can be a student, it can be a teacher, it can be another researcher, it can be the professor of the college, and so on. And if you think about the reader of non-academic writing or other kind of writing, they are friends and family, and relatives. For example, if you are writing a letter, you're writing a letter to your friend, you're writing a letter to your family. Okay, so that would be for the purpose of sending the message to friends, family, and relative. अब कन्टेन्टको कुरा गर्छौँ भने एकाडेमिक राइटिङको कन्टेन्ट एकदम सिरियस हुन्छ। सिरियस थट भनेको छ यहाँ। सिरियस थट भन्ने बित्तिकै कस्तो भन्दाखेरि जो चाहिँ नलेजमा आधारित छ, जो कुनै चाहिँ इस्युजमा कुरा गर्छ, कुनै रिसर्च गरेर त्यसलाई नयाँ फाइन्डिङको कुरा गर्छ। सो द कन्टेन्ट इज सिरियस। बट इफ यु थिङ्क अबाउट द कन्टेन्ट अफ अदर राइटिङ, दे आर कन्भर्सेसनल, दे आर पर्सनल, दे आर बेस्ड अन द डेली लाइफ्स अफ फ्रेन्ड्स एन्ड फ्यामिली, दे आर बेस्ड अन द पर्सनल प्रब्लम्स। अनि स्टाइल कस्तो हुन्छ भन्छौँ भने राइटिङ स्टाइल भनेको है, एकाडेमिक राइटिङको राइटिङ स्टाइल कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दा कम्प्लेक्स सेन्टेन्सहरू युज हुन्छ त्यसमा, र त्यो पनि कम्प्लेक्स सेन्टेन्सहरू, भेराइटिज अफ कम्प्लेक्स सेन्टेन्स, कम्पाउन्ड सेन्टेन्सेस आर युज्ड इन एकाडेमिक राइटिङ। अब यो नन एकाडेमिक राइटिङमा सेन्टेन्सहरू जुन हुन्छ त्यो सिम्पल सेन्टेन्स हुन्छ, कम्पाउन्ड सेन्टेन्स हुन्छ। अब यो सिम्पल सेन्टेन्स, कम्पाउन्ड सेन्टेन्स चाहिँ हाम्रो नन एकाडेमिकमा युज हुने भयो भने एकाडेमिकमा चाहिँ कम्प्लेक्स सेन्टेन्सहरू या कम्पाउन्ड कम्प्लेक्स सेन्टेन्सहरू युज हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा छ। अब अर्गनाइजेसनको कुरा सुरुमा एउटा क्वेसन सोधेको तिमीलाई, यो कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि क्लियर हुन्छ, वेल प्लान्ड हुन्छ, र कन्साइज हुन्छ, प्रिसाइज हुन्छ, एकदम छोटो हुन्छ, धेरै लामो हुँदैन। त्यहाँ लामो गफ हामीले गर्दैनौँ, टु द पोइन्ट हुन्छ, एक्ज्याक्ट हुन्छ, क्लियर हुन्छ। त्यो भनेको यसको अर्गनाइजेसन भयो। र नन एकाडेमिकको के हुन्छ, लाइकली टु बी एज क्लियर एन्ड अर्गनाइज एज पोसिबल, लेस लाइकली हुन्छ, त्यहाँ त्यति चाहिँ अर्गनाइज हुँदैन। अहिले एउटा इक्जाम्पल पनि दिन्छु, यहाँ एउटा इक्जाम्पल प्रस्तुत भएको छ। ग्रामर कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि लाइकली टु बी इरर फ्री भनेको छ। ग्रामरको कुरामा हेर्छौँ भने त्यहाँ कुनै प्रकारको मिस्टेक हुन हुँदैन यसमा। र पर्सनलमा या नन एकाडेमिकमा चाहिँ मे नट अलवेज युज कम्प्लिट सेन्टेन्सेस। र भोकाबुलरी कस्तो हुन्छ भन्छौँ भने यसको भोकाबुलरी आफ्नै छन्, टेक्निकल एन्ड एकाडेमिक ल्याङ्ग्वेज युज एकुरेटली। र यसमा हेर्छौँ भने सर्ट फर्म्सहरू, इडियम्सहरू, स्ल्याङ्ग्सहरू, लोकल ल्याङ्ग्वेजहरू, कन्भर्सेसनल ल्याङ्ग्वेजहरू युज हुन्छ भन्ने छ। अब यसको आधारमा तिमी यहाँ छुट्याऊ कुन चाहिँ एकाडेमिक हो र कुन चाहिँ नन एकाडेमिक हो भनेर भनेको छ। जस्तो यो आई कुडन्ट फिनिश द इन्टरभ्युज अन टाइम, यो के हुन्छ, फर्मल हो कि इनफर्मल हो? फर्मल भनेपछि एकाडेमिक हुन्छ, इनफर्मल भनेपछि नन एकाडेमिक हुन्छ। ल बताऊ मलाई, फर्मल भए एफमा टिक लगाऊ, नन फर्मल भए आईमा टिक लगाऊ। Yes,
Informal.
informal. Can you tick mark this? I think you can do this from your mobile phone also. The initial test were completed and the result analyzed by Zoon 2002. What about this one? Okay, that's very nice. You can do it faster, okay? The initial tests were completed and the results analyzed by Zoon 2002. यो फॉर्मल भाई चलो फॉर्मल लगाओ एकेडमिक राइटिंग हो गई
Okay, sir.
और कौन सा आई वुड लाइक टू स्टार्ट बाय ड्राविंग योर अटेंशन टू प्रीवियस रिसर्च इन दिस एरिया ये अपनी सेम तो फॉर्मल ही होता आई वुड लाइक
What
टू
me?
स्टार्ट उससे हेवी लैंग्वेज है यहाँ
Formal.
in the 1990s some researchers started to point out the problems with the theory यो पनि सेम त्यही हो जहाँ व्यक्तिगत कुरा हुन्छ त्यो इन्फर्मल हुन्छ ख्याल गर आई वी माई यस्ता कुराहरू भनेको इन्फर्मल हुन्छ फर इक्जाम्पल he agreed with me that this procedure didn't make much sense यो इन्फर्मलमा जान्छ यो है
Yes, sir.
कारण के छ किनकि यसमा पर्सनल कुराहरू गरेको छ सर्ट फर्महरू युज गरेको छ है will repeat the test sometime next year यो वाला will repeat the test
Informal. Sir, you mistakenly आफैलाई erase कसरी गर्ने?
ठिकै छ त्यो गर्न मिल्छ त्यहाँ
Erase.
यता लगाइदियो अर्को कुराले केही फरक पर्दैन while it is still too early to draw some firm conclusions
Informal.
यता हुन्छ हैन in addition the research
Yes, sir.
यो पनि यता हुन्छ so I think you got the idea about this academic writing and other non-academic writing or formal and informal writing यहाँ एउटा प्याराग्राफ पनि छ अब यो प्याराग्राफ हेर र प्याराग्राफ हेरेर बताऊ यसको स्टाइलको बारेमा के छ म तिम्रो यो क्लियर गरिदिन्छु now think about this paragraph and say which one is formal and which one is non-formal for example this A paragraph what makes a good paragraph it is difficult to say anyway I'll try to give you an answer a good paragraph is start with the main idea of some kind the result
Formal.
you know the text of the so this is formal or informal
Informal.
yes informal and the person is using conversational language here for example he begin with a question what makes a good paragraph then he uses this bakwas here it is difficult to say त्यसपछि यो unnecessary word like anyway then this short form and then only comes the main thing here he says the main thing here a good paragraph is start with a main idea of some kind is some kind also not necessary here now you read this one the reciprocal relation between reading and writing has become a focal point of L1 and L2 literacy research. Empirical findings have led researchers to recognize that reading and composing or writing both involve the construction of meaning, developing and application of complex cognitive and linguistic skills, activation of existing knowledge, and past experience and the ability to do. Okay, so this is completely formal. Okay, now this one also. The difference between a paper and an online presentation is that in paper, this is also formal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think you got the idea about formal and informal. Now I'll send the book to you.
Your document formal while a reader is.
So I think it's the time to stop. Thank you very much.